It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, you got a lovely day to do it in, that's true. And I hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two, for I'd really like to stay.
Welcome to Ask Aunt Ann. It's a lovely day here, and I hope it's a lovely day where you are. Valentine's Day is a great time to show those you love how special they are to you. I don't know about you, but I'd rather do that with something I've made than with something I've purchased. So on this episode, I have a few things that you may want to make for the special person in your life. In the kitchen, I'll be making Cupid floats and cherry pie valentines. In the craft room, I'll show you what I've made for Jimmy for Valentine's Day. And then we'll take you to the community hall where some of my friends and neighbors will be singing love songs to help raise awareness for American Heart Health Month. So please stay with us. We have lots to do. I'm going to start the show by making a Cupid float. I was inspired by this letter from Kim Everson in Sauk City. She writes, "Dear Aunt Ann, I have 2 younger kids, and I'd like to make a fun treat that the whole family can enjoy on Valentine's Day. Any suggestions?" Well, Kim, here's a quick, easy, and sweet idea. Take inspiration from a root beer float, but use cherry soda instead. You can use cherry 7-Up, or for a really special treat, try a craft soda pop like this one. It's made with real cherry juice. Using a mason jar instead of a glass is fun too. Just put in a scoop or 2 of ice cream and top it off with the soda. You can even add a licorice straw. Just cut off the ends. Who can say no to such a sweet treat? Our next letter is from Ben Peterson in Union Grove. He writes, "Dear Aunt Ann, for Valentine's Day, I'd like to make something special for my wife this year. I'm not the most accomplished cook, so I'm looking for something easy but impressive." What a lovely gesture, Ben. Here's an idea you can try. Here's what you'll need. 1 package of refrigerated pie crust, 1 can of cherry pie filling, 1/2 cup sugar, 1/4 cup whipping cream, 1 4 by 5 inch paper envelope, and 1 small heart-shaped cookie cutter. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Open up the envelope. You're going to use this as a pattern, so try not to tear it. Trace it onto some parchment paper and cut out the pattern. You can make 2 of these treats from 1 box of pie crust dough. I decided to make 4 smaller envelopes. Just find a smaller envelope or cut the 4 by 5 size down. Now unroll your pie crust. I used a rolling pin to gently flatten my crust. Don't overdo it on this or the crust will lose its layers. Using a sharp knife or pizza cutter, cut around the pattern. Place the pastry on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Add 1 large tablespoon of filling to the upper third of the pastry. Allow about 1/2 inch space all around the filling. You don't need much filling for each pastry. If you overfill it, the filling will spill over the pastry and it won't look as nice. Fold the right pastry flap over the center of the filling. Then repeat with the other side. For the last fold, turn up the pastry point facing you to form the opened envelope. To help with the presentation and to keep all the envelope points joined, add your little heart using a small amount of water on your fingertip as the glue to hold the heart shape in place. Now, if you feel up to it, Ben, take a knife and score around each flap and edges of the envelope. You don't have to do this, but it gives the pastry more definition after baking. Brush the whipping cream over the finished pastry. You can also use an egg wash or water instead of the cream. Then sprinkle with sparkling sugar. You can use regular sugar for this. It just won't be as sparkly. I used turbinado sugar, which is a light brown color, to give mine a more antique look. Now it's ready to bake for 15 to 20 minutes. Watch carefully so it doesn't burn. Lightly cover with foil if the edges get brown before the center bakes. Remove from the oven and allow to cool before removing the baking sheet. Put it on a pretty plate with a cloth napkin. Add a glass of her favorite beverage and you'll get full marks. Here's another idea. I used up the excess dough by cutting out hearts and baking them along with the envelopes. Add one to a dish of ice cream and spoon the cherries over top. Even easier. Happy Valentine's Day, Ben. I wanted to make Jimmy a special gift for Valentine's Day, and I found this idea on Pinterest. It's from the website thedatingdivas.com. In addition to being a great Valentine's Day gift, this is a personalized project that would also be a lovely anniversary gift or a meaningful gift for a wedding or bridal shower. Here's what you will need. Scissors, adhesive of your choice. I used Scotch brand mounting squares for the dimension they add, but you could also use regular photo mounting squares or even glue. An 8x10 picture frame, 3 sheets of white cardstock, a fine point black pen, and some cute narrow ribbon or baker's twine. Black distressing ink is optional. I used it to make the elements stand out against the background. You will also need the printable tree and heart templates, which are linked on the Dating Divas website. We'll link them on our website as well, askauntAnn.com. The first step is to print the lyrics to a song that is meaningful to you and your Valentine. Type up the lyrics to the song and be sure to use the landscape format for this document so that it works with these templates. Once you have your song typed up, feel free to get creative with the fonts and even color. When you have it exactly the way you want it, copy the entire song and paste it over and over again in your document so the entire page is covered. Then print the document onto white cardstock. Once printed, put it back into the printer and print the tree template onto the same sheet so that the outline of the tree prints over the top of your lyrics. Next, you will need to print the 2 sets of hearts on a separate sheet of cardstock. Remember, the template is available on our website and also on the Dating Divas website. Now it's time to cut everything out. Cut out all 4 hearts and the tree. You should also cut 2 10-inch pieces of the ribbon or baker's twine. You will also need to trim a piece of the cardstock to 8 inches by 10 inches for the background. I prefer the simplicity of the white background, but consider using a fun, complementary printed paper as an alternative background. My next step was to rub a little bit of black scrapbooking ink on the edges of the tree and hearts. This step is completely optional, but I really like the distressed look that it creates and the way the pieces really stand out against the background. If you decide to add this step, take your time and start sparingly with the ink. Build it up along the edges until you achieve the desired look. Once the ink is dry, print your name and the name of your sweetheart in your finest lettering on the smaller set of hearts. Next, using the square adhesives, place the tree onto the background. These Scotch brand mounting squares are very thin foam and they add just a little bit of lift to the tree for added dimension. Now, position the larger set of hearts onto the background, but don't secure them right away. The twine or ribbon needs to be secured first, underneath these hearts. Fold the twine in half, secure the fold with adhesive, and then tie the ends into a bow around the tree limb. Trim the tied ends of the twine if needed. Now you can secure the larger hearts over the twine. We're almost finished. For the last step, I chose to adhere the sweethearts directly onto the background hearts before framing the entire piece. The dating divas actually suggest adhering the sweethearts to the outside glass once the rest of the piece has been framed. That's a neat idea. You can decide which way you'd like it. As you can see, this project takes some time, but the final piece is so special and well worth it. Wouldn't it make such a lovely wedding or bridal shower gift too? Now here's a fun project that can incorporate the entire family for Valentine's Day. All you need is a tumbling tower game, a red Sharpie pen, and a fine point black pen. I found this small version of the tower game at the local store where everything is $1, but you could also use the full-size game. Use your black pen to write different instructions. For example, this one says, "Give a hug to the person on the right." Once the phrases have been written, you can add little decorative hearts to the edges to make it even cuter. What's a Valentine's Day without hearts? Recently, Jimmy and I hosted a special program at our community hall. It was to help spread the word on heart health. And what better way to do that than with songs about love? We thought you'd like to see some of the show. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We are so happy to be hosting this heartfelt celebration.
February is a great time to think about love and taking care of your heart.
Sadly, the leading cause of death for both men and women in the United States is heart disease.
And in many cases, heart disease can be prevented by making healthy choices. So, between songs, we'll be sharing some heart-healthy tips.
But first, let's hear from Peggy Sue singing "When I Fall in Love."
When I fall in love, it will be completely, or I'll never fall in love. In this restless world we live in, love has ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment that I see that you feel that way too is when I give my heart to you.
Thanks, Peggy Sue. That was beautiful.
And you know what else is beautiful, Jimmy? A healthy heart. Here are some things you can do to prevent heart disease. Eat healthy, get active, stay at a healthy weight, quit smoking, and stay away from secondhand smoke. Control your cholesterol and blood pressure, drink in moderation, and manage stress.
And listening to music is a great way to reduce stress. Here's Peter singing "Ain't That a Kick in the Head."
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her, she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fella once said, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
Wasn't that fun? Thanks, Peter. Here's another tip to help you become heart healthy. Exercise. Try to get in at least 2.5 hours of moderate to vigorous exercise a week. It can be as simple as going for a walk, taking the stairs, or parking farther away from your destination.
But don't go for that walk yet. Peggy Sue and Cindy are up next to sing Stupid Cupid.
Stupid Cupid, you're a real mean guy. I'd like to clip your wings so you can fly. I'm in love and it's a crying shame, and I know that you're the one to blame. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. I can't do my homework and I can't think straight. I meet her every morning about 8:30. I'm acting like a lovesick fool. You've even got me carrying his books to school. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. You mix me up for good right from the very start. Hey, go play Robin Hood with somebody else's heart. You got me jumping like a crazy clown, and I don't feature what you're putting down. Since I kissed his loving lips of wine, the thing that bothers me is that I like it fine. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. You got me jumping like a crazy clown, and I don't feature what you're putting down. Since I kissed his loving lips of wine, the thing that bothers me is that I like it fine. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me.
That song makes me want to dance. And that's another great way to get in your exercise.
And eating right is another great way to a healthy heart. It's recommended that a healthy diet include plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and omega-3 fatty acids, like those found in fish, nuts, and leafy vegetables.
And make sure to limit sugary drinks, processed and red meats, trans fats, and sodium.
There's no limit to the talents of our friend Peter. Here he is again singing, Are You Lonesome Tonight?
Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart. Does your memory stray to a bright summer day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart? Do the chairs in your parlor seem empty and bare? Do you gaze at your doorstep and picture me there? Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? I wonder if you're lonesome tonight. You know, someone said that the world's a stage and each must play a part. Fate had me playing in love with you as my sweetheart. Act 1 was when we met. You read your lines so cleverly and never missed a cue. Then came Act 2. You seemed to change. You acted strange, and why, I'll never know. Honey, you lied when you said you loved me, and I had no cause to doubt you. But I'd rather go on hearing you lies than to go on living without you. Now the stage is bare, and I'm standing there with emptiness all around. But if you won't come back to me, then they can bring the curtain down. Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight?
We have one more song for you, but before we hear it, we want to share one more risk factor for heart disease, and that's sleep.
Not something we generally relate to heart problems, but if you don't get enough sleep, you raise your risk of blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes.
And those three things can raise your risk for heart disease. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Make sure that you have good sleep habits. And if you have frequent sleep problems, please contact your healthcare provider.
This last song says it all. Irving Berlin's beautiful love song, Be Careful, It's My Heart.
Be careful, it's my heart. It's not my watch you're holding, it's my heart. It's not the note I sent you that you quickly burned. It's not the book I lent you that you never returned.
Remember, it's my heart, the heart with which so willingly I part. It's yours to take, to keep or break, but please before you start, be careful. It's my heart.
It's my horse, the heart with which so willingly I part. It's yours to take, to keep or break, but please, before you start, be careful. It's my heart.
It's my heart.
The heart with which so willingly I part. It's yours to take, to keep or break, but please, before you start, be careful. It's my heart.
Thanks, Peter and Peggy Sue.
And remember to please be careful with your heart.
Before we say goodbye for now, I'd like to share this lovely poem by Nikki Giovanni. It's called Love Is. Love is. Some people forget that love is tucking you in and kissing you goodnight, no matter how young or old you are. Some people don't remember that love is listening and laughing and asking questions, no matter what your age. Few recognize that love is commitment, responsibility. No fun at all, unless love is you and me.
It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, you got a lovely day to do it in, that's true. And I hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two, for I'd really like to stay. It's a lovely day today, and whatever you've got to do, I'd be so happy to be doing it with you. But if you've got something that must be done, and it can only be done by one, there is nothing more to say, except it's a lovely day for saying it's a lovely day.